Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Open University.
Namaskar dear students and learner of this course. I am Professor Kamesh Rawal. I welcomes you in the video lecture series of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar Open University. Fine. So, I think in the last session we have discussed the organization of the computer, right? How the different part is actually functioning to process the data, not only to process the data, to take the data, process the data, and how it will be converted into the information and that will be provided to the user, right? In this session, basically we will try to focus on why we are using a computer system, what are the advantages are there, limitations are there, and what are the attributes are there, characteristics are there of the computer system. Fine. So, this is again we can say it is a second session of the unit number 2. In the unit number 2, we are discussing computer organization and data processing. Fine. In this particular session, what we will do is, we will discuss what are the advantages are there of the computer system, why we are using this computer, what are the limitations are there, what are the problems are there with the computer system, what are the disadvantages are there, what are the characteristics are there of the computer system, and what are the area of application, right, where we are using computer system. Okay. So, the different things, different areas are there where we are using a computer system. So, we will just look at to the different areas where we are using a computer system or computer system is there. Okay. First, we will just start a discussion about advantages of the computer, right. So, what is actually why we are using a computer? So, basically let us suppose if you have a computer, you can connect your computer with the internet, right, and once you are connecting your machine, your computer device or your mobile device, because as we have discussed, mobile is nothing, it is a small version of a computer, right. So, if you are connecting your computer, laptop or mobile with the internet, you know what is internet? Internet is a information superhighway, right. Lots of informations are available on the internet, right. So, once you are connecting your computer with the internet, that means you are getting more information, right. Anything you just search it on the Google or on the internet and that thing you will get it, right. So, what is the first point of the we can say about the advantages of the computer system? The first point is says you provide access to more information using internet, right. So, computer provide us a lot of information, right, any information you want, right. If you are searching something about a medical science, or if you are searching something about which is related to the mechanical engineering or electronic engineering, anything, right, any topic you just search it on the internet and that will be available, right. So, once you are connecting your machine with the internet, you can gain a lot of information. Second, computer can complete the task that might be impossible for the human to complete, right. So, there are several tasks are there which computers can do, right. I think you people are already aware that we have sent some of the we can say rockets on the moon and Mars and other planets. So, obviously here we are not sending a human. Initially what we are doing is, so in the aircraft we are just fitting the computers, right, and that is a different type of computers, we are calling it as a robot, right. And what we are doing is, we are just sending a robot on a different planet, and that robot is nothing, it is a computer which will do the survey, right, the environment, everything will be inspected and it send the information to us, right. So, there are many things are there where the human cannot do the thing, but that same work will be done by the computer very easily. So, here what we can say is, computer can complete those tasks which is impossible for the human, right. It saves a lot of time, right. computer saves a lot of time. How it is? Let's suppose if you want to buy something, what you do is you just open any site like Amazon, Flipkart, or there is huge amount of sites are there, and you select the product and you just place the order, right? And you can save a lot of time. Okay, let if you have any electricity bill or we can say gas bill, that you can easily pay through the internet, right? And in that way, again, you do not have to go to the particular center, you do not have to stay on a queue, and here you can save a lot of time, right? So by using computer, we can save a lot of time. Third, it automates lot of repetitive tasks, right? So if you are doing some work repeatedly again and again, you can handle that thing to the computer system, right? Nowadays it is possible, every after 1 month or 2 months we are paying an electricity bill, right? Now it is possible that you give some standing instruction to your bank, and the bank computer will automatically deduct some amount, right, and it will pay your bill, right? So even though if you forgot to pay the bill, your bill will be automatically paid, fine. So there are so many things are there, so which we are doing repeatedly, right? Every month we are paying the bill, right, or not bills, right? That thing, that is a repetitive task. You can give this type of task to the computer and computer will handle it, right, without any mistake. It increases productivity, right? It can be used for the communication purpose, fine. So computer can be used for the communication purpose. Let's suppose if your friend is there in the USA or in any other country of the world, you can easily chat, right? So it is what? It is a communication. You can send an email to someone, right? So that is what is a communication. Even in our mobile phone, whatever WhatsApp or Telegram kind of apps you are using, this is again a kind of computer communications, right? Okay, another one, the computer can also be used for the entertainment, right? Let's suppose if you want to watch a movie, or if you want to watch any song, or if you want to listen the music, you can use a computer and internet, right? So if your computer is having internet, you can watch any movie, right? Because all the movies are online, right? Similarly, you can gain a lot of knowledgeable video. You can see the news, this type of thing you can do it with the YouTube. So here you can also use your computer for gaining knowledge as well as entertainment purpose, fine. The computer provides computer has a large storage, right? As we know, the hard disk is available in the size of terabyte, TBs, and in that you can store whatever data you have, right? You can store your resume, you can store any other data, you can store your programs, right? You can store this type of PPTs and all, right? And obviously it will remain into the computer's memory for the years, right? It will not be changed. So here the computer has a huge amount of storage, large memory, right? And in that we can store our data and information. Okay, what are the problems with the computer system? So there are several problems are there with the computer system, right? Most of the time, we are now habituated to use a computer type of systems, right? We are using a computer very frequently. We are also using mobile very frequently, and we are also using our laptops very frequently. So here, constantly you are watching the screen, and the brightness of the screen will damage your eyes, right? So the first problem with the computer system here, let excessive use, right? If you are using this type of mobile, computer, laptop kind of devices, right, and your use is excessive, right? So in that case, what happen? It will result in several medical problems. For example, most of the user have a common problem, that is a problem of the eyes, right? They are getting a problem with the vision, right? Okay. The second problem, as we have discussed, we can store a huge amount of data into the computer's memory, right? Then there are several threads are there. Now what type of threads are there? Somebody, let's suppose if you are using internet very frequently, so obviously you need to connect your computer system with the internet, right? And internet is what? It is a network of network. There are millions of users are there. Now once you are connecting your system with the internet, anybody, right, which is called a hacker or cracker, right, they can attack on your system. They can destroy your data, right, or they can destroy any other thing of your computer, right. So basically, you know, when you are putting everything on a computer system, at that time you have to be aware, right, so that some unwanted user cannot enter into your system and he or she cannot hack the data whatever you have stored in the computer's memory. So you need to take a protection, right. You need to install the firewall kind of software here. Sometimes what happen, you have stored a huge amount of data into the computer system, and suppose if you are just bringing one file, suppose music or something like that from your friend, and that pen drive whatever you are going to insert, that is having a virus, right. So viruses are nothing, they are the softwares, right, but they are execute their own, right. So you are not telling to the computer system that computer please execute this particular program, but the thing is whenever you are attaching that pen drive, that program, you know, will be copied into your computer system and it will corrupt your data, right. So these are the some threats are there. Obviously, how can you protect your system from this type of threat? Obviously, if you want to protect your system from the viruses and all other different type of malwares, in that case you need to install proper licensed version of antivirus. Clear? So whenever computer is very useful, it is having a lot of huge memory, and in that memory we are storing a lot of data and we are just relying on that data, and this type of threats can damage your data. So to protect your system, you need to install firewall, you need to take a data backup of your data, you need to install any antivirus kind of software, right. So this is something about what type of threats are there with the computer system. Okay, the third point, that is, you know, here if you want to use a computer system, if you want to gain the benefit which is served by the computer system, in that case what happen, you need to buy it. You need to buy a laptop, you need to buy a personal computer, or you need to buy a mobile. So here we need to buy a computer system, means we are buying a hardware of the computer system, right. So to purchase this type of hardware, what we need to do is we need to spend some cost, right. And you know, computer is not a cheaper, it is a costlier, right. So if you want to buy, or if you want to enjoy the functionality advantages which will be served by the computer system, then you need to buy the computer's hardware, and that is expensive. Here the cost will cost factor will affect. Fine. So computer are expensive and you need to pay proper amount for the hardware and software whatever you want to use for your system. Okay. Now we will discuss the different characteristic or properties of the computer, right. The first point is called automatic. So computer is what? It is a automatic device, right. And automatic means what? As I said, let's suppose if you have given a standing instruction to your bank, right. So they will give this instruction to their servers, and automatically whenever your bill gets generated, automatically it will be paid, right, by the server of the bank, right. So here once you are giving any work to the computer, then the computer will do that work automatically. Automatically means what? Here human will not be there, right. Computer does not need a human, but whatever instructions are given to the computer, it will be executed without any human intervention. Fine. So a machine is said to be automatic because it is doing its work, whatever program we have given right? That program, it will execute its own, and then the human is not needed actually during that time. So computer is an automatic device. Second thing, the speed of the computer is a very fast machine, right? Let's suppose if you talk about 2.4 GB of processor we have purchased. What it mean? 2.4 GB, right? So 2.4 gigahertz, let 2.4 gigahertz, GHz. What it mean? 2.4 gigahertz means this gigahertz you need to convert into megahertz. So you need to multiply this with the 1000. Okay, so 2.4 gigahertz means 2.4 into 1000 megahertz. Now this megahertz will be converted into the kilohertz. So again you need to multiply it with 1000. Again, suppose this kilohertz will be converted into the hertz. What it mean? Here again 1000 has to be added, right? So that means what? 2.4 into 1000 into 1000 into 1000. Now your 1 second, right, is equivalent to this much tick of a computer, right? For example, let if we'll talk about what is the smallest unit of the time for we people. For we people, second is the smallest unit, right? Then we have minute and then hour, right? But for the computer, tick is the smallest unit, and your 1 second is equivalent to 2.4 into 1000 into 1000 into 1000 ticks, and in a one tick computer can execute one instruction. And that's why what we can say is the computer is working in the range of nanosecond, right? 10 raised to 9th part of the second, right? So you can understand in a 1 second computer can execute 10 raised to 9 instructions. Okay, so we can say computer is a very fast machine. So the speed is, it's a very fast, right? Computer can execute each and every instruction in the range of nanosecond. Okay, accuracy, the computer is a very accurate machine, right? If you have given a proper program, your program should not have an error, right? But once you have given a proper programming, then the computer will always produce accurate result and answer, right? Suppose sometimes we are getting some unexpected output. Why we are getting some unexpected output? That is because of the data whatever we have entered is wrong, or a programming done into the computer is wrong, right? But the hardware itself never do any kind of mistake, right? So once you have returned the program, you have tested it, then that program you use it for many time, and every time the software, that particular program will produce a accurate result, perfect result. Fine. Okay. One more thing, that is diligence. Fine. So the computer is a diligence. Now what is a diligence means? Suppose when some repetitive task will be given to the human, after some time the human will get tired, right? Normally આપણને એવું લાગે ને કે સર આ શું એકનું એક કામ કરી રાખીએ છે, that type of mentality we have, right? Because human cannot do a same type of work again and again, right? While in the case of computer, right, the same type of work you just give it for 1000 time or 1 lakh time or 1 crore time, computer will do that with a perfect concentration, right? So computer never tires, right? Even though if you are submitting some repetitive work, right, and the computer can never lose its concentration, right? So we have a lack of this type of attributes, right? If the same type of work you are doing, after certain iteration you will feel a tiredness, and first time you will do the work with a full concentration, second time, third time, but afterwards, you know, if the same work you are doing for 15 time or 20 time, you know, you will lose your concentration, right? So that is what the attribute is there with the computer system, right? If you are giving a repetitive works to the computer, still the computer never gets tired, or you know, computer will never lose its concentration. The another attribute is there, characteristic, which is called versatility. The computer is a versatile machine, right? Means what? Let's suppose, as a being a human, if you are involving yourself into a one work, right, and at the same time some another work is coming, what you will say? Bhai, pehla you just put it at side, let me complete this work first and afterwards I will check this, right? I can't do two or more work at the same time, and this is what the problem occur with the human, right? Human can focus on a one work at a time, but if we'll talk about a computer, so computer is a versatile, right? At the same time, in a 1 second, computer can process your word data. Computer can also execute your, you know, C programming. Computer can also play a song for you, right? So in a 1 second, many program we can execute with the help of computer, right? And that is why we can say our computer is a versatile machine, right? Power of remembering, you know, we already have discussed that the computer has a secondary memory, and it's a very huge secondary memory, right? So here the computer can store a huge amount of data, and it is not for, you know, some limited period of time, right? Once you have saved the data, that data will remain into the computer's memory unless and until you are not deleting. So let's suppose if after 5 years or after 7 years, if you are attaching that hard drive and if you are accessing that data, every word, every character, whatever you have typed, you will get it exactly in the same manner, right? What happened with the humans? Obviously, let's suppose if one paragraph is given to you, and if you have you know, done with that particular paragraph in a very well manner, obviously after 1 day, after 2 days, and suppose obviously that paragraph you can speak, right? But let's suppose the same paragraph, whatever you have prepared today, if somebody is asking after 1 year or 2 years, obviously you will lose some of the words from it, right? But that thing will not happen with the computer, right? So this is what the most important feature of the computer system. Two more characteristics are there, right? And that is not an advantage of the computer, but that is a drawback of the computer. Computer does not have IQ, right? So computer does not have its own intelligence. Computer does not have a brain. Computer can't think, right? What computer can do, whatever program we have inserted, computer can execute it. It is fast, it has a huge memory, right? It never get tired, right? It can do more than one work at the same time. These are the plus point. But computer cannot correct any mistake its own, because the computer does not have a brain. You know, computer can't think, right? But whatever instructions that human has given in the form of program, computer can follow only those instructions, right? So computer does not have any intelligence, right? Nowadays, you know, we are trying to provide some instructions so that the computer will become intelligent, but that is computers, you know, that instruction is given by the humans. Computer cannot have that type of instruction. Computer can't produce that type of instruction its own, and that's why what we can say is computer does not have IQ, right? The intelligence which will be provided by the humans to the computer system is called artificial intelligence, right? Robotics are actually working on the basis of that artificial intelligence, but that intelligence, obviously it will be provided to the computer system via some programs. And who has returned the program? Obviously it's a user. Okay, programmer, right? Fine. Computer do not have any kind of feelings, right? So computer, let's suppose that if the printer is not working and immediately you need a printout, right? So the computer system does not have a feeling that this is my owner, he is in a big trouble, so let me correct the problem and give a printout. It's not like that, right? Computer system does not have any kind of feeling. It is a machine, it's not a human, right? So these are some of the attributes, these are some of the characteristics of the computer system. Okay, now we will see the different areas of application where we can use the computer, right? So several areas are there where you can see this type of computer system, or where the computer system we can take the help of the computer system in these areas, right? Let's suppose in the healthcare center, right, or into the insurance sector, the computers will be used, right? Nowadays you can take the insurance by using internet, right? Healthcare sectors, so all the hospitals and medicals, you can we can say all the hospitals and clinics, they have the computer system. The computer system will be work or used in the research and development work, right? The computer system can be used in the defense and security system of the country. The computer system is used in the airlines and aviation sectors. The computer systems we are using in the educational departments like school, colleges, university, etc., etc. The computer system is used by the filmmakers and by the media, right? All the news reporters and every they are using we can say film producer, they are using computer system. Government, we can pay the tax online, and government is collecting the tax online. So here the government is again using a computer system. Government can also use the computer system for any kind of survey, right, to count the population of the country, right? So in many areas the government is using computer system. Okay, in a medical field we can use a computer system, right? In the agriculture, right, suppose that if you are producing a fertilizer, then what type of components that has to be added to make a perfect fertilizer? So obviously it will be computerized, right? In industry, right, to design any circuitry machine, right, in a shipping, in a process control, let's suppose if this much temperature will be done, then automatically the cooling system will be started, right? So to control that type of thing, again we are using computer system. We are also using a computer in our home, right, for communication purpose, right, for a business purpose. In the business, decision support, to gain the information, we are using computer system. Fine. So in this particular session we have discussed advantages, limitation, characteristics, and some area of the application where we can use the computer system. In the today's session, I think the sufficient discussion we have done. We will meet in the next session and we will discuss something about programming languages. Till then, take care and bye bye.